Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi. We're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And though it is a rollicking 40 degrees outside, I am so cold. I woke up cold. I was shivering while I was eating my breakfast. I went to get a bath. The bathtub wasn't that warm. I am wearing a heavy January sweater. Tristan's even in his winter scarf. And I am still cold. I just cannot believe this weather. It's very upsetting to me because I don't like the cold weather here that much in the first place. And to have extra cold weather, not making me happy, especially when I have no ability to go anywhere to get away from the cold. So if it stays like this today, the fireplace is on, the electric fireplaces are on, and I will get another bath because I cannot tolerate this kind of cold. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, as some of you may recall, I will be going grocery shopping tomorrow. I decided that the last time I went, the store was really decimated. So, hopefully on a Wednesday, they'll have 2 days to restock from the weekend, which was Mother's Day. And maybe I'll be able to buy some peppers and lettuce and things that I live on. So, that'll be tomorrow. And at that point, we will do the Target Corgi prom. When I get back from the grocery, which will be like noon, I'll start posting. I think I'm going to post them all in one clump. I mean, there's like 12 pictures of the Target Corgi prom, and they may just be like one thing you have to click on and then click through. So today we're going to wrap up this whole series we've been doing about calming and relaxation with some advice from the well-known Deepak Chopra. He has an acronym for trying to get control of yourself called STOP, which, you know, kind of actually tells you what it is you're supposed to do. It's like those ones when, for stroke, facial drooping, arm, all that. So anyway, let's look at STOP. So if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety or a problem, the first thing you're going to do, like let's say tomorrow I have another mass chaos line like I did at the Walmart. This won't happen at my grocery stores, but let's suppose it happens to someone. You're going to stop what you're doing immediately. Like if you're pushing your cart, just stop for a minute. Take 3 deep breaths, which may be a little tricky with your mask on, but you're going to still try to take some breaths and really feel the breaths in your body. Use your stomach. Inhale. And, I use an essential oil called Thieves, like burglars, robbers, thieves, on the inside and outside of my mask. It's very strong. It will make your eyes water if you don't let it air out a few minutes, like 15, before you put it on. But that stuff smells like cinnamon and cloves and my house, and so smelling that can relax me. You could do a similar thing by putting a drop of lavender oil just on the inside of your mask, like on the side, not like on your nose area, and that is relaxing. So for me, that essential oil component is important to being able to be in a stressful situation and have to stop what I'm doing and then take 3 breaths. Just 3 breaths, not 10, not count backwards from 10, just 3 breaths. Just stop and take 3 breaths. That's the T, take 3 breaths. Then while you're breathing, the O from stop is observe your breath. So you're going to breathe in and just notice your breath. And it's what I just said. Imagine the breath filling your stomach, your lungs, your body. Some people even blink or close their eyes when they're doing this. Sometimes when you're stressed out, though, you don't want to purposely close your eyes because, the lady with the cart behind you could run you over. So just take that 3 breaths and observe your breath. And this can even be if you're in a stressful phone call with someone, maybe, or a stressful moment with your family that you've been locked up with for 3, 4, whatever, 100 years now. So stop what you're doing. Take 3 breaths, observe your breath. And then the P is proceed with compassion. And to me, that is the essence of it. No matter what you're doing, if you can proceed with compassion, you can shift everything. And the breaths just get you to the place where you can go to your heart space and ask for compassion. And this applies even without what we have going on now. If you just have a kid or a dog that's doing something that's really out of line and you're really mad about it, before you do anything, stop. Stop what you're doing, take 3 breaths, observe your breath, and then continue on proceed with compassion. And the compassion is what you're trying to access with the stop and the breathe and the observe. You're trying to get yourself out of the anger, frustration, annoyance, whatever emotion has you trapped, and get to that place where you feel compassion. So for instance, I was trapped in that line at the grocery store or at the Walmart, and that lady was about to blow into a massive meltdown. Her face was red, she was shaking, her cart was overloaded, she just was very uncomfortable with everything going on around her, and truly probably uncomfortable with her life and herself and her body. And by being able to proceed with compassion to that poor person in that moment and say, can I help you? Do you need something? Can I do something for you? That changes everything. It changes everything, and it works every time. So I really advocate this acronym of STOP. Stop what you're doing, take 3 breaths, observe your breaths, and proceed with compassion. And if you can't remember what STOP means, just stop, breathe, and have compassion. That's all you really need out of it. It's nice to have a little acronym, but, observe your breath. If you're in that moment, that might not be the first thing you remember, but you'll remember the compassion, the breathe, and the stop what you're doing. So, obviously if, your kids are about to kill each other and they're fighting and screaming and punching each other, you may have to do this a little more quickly than I did in the grocery line, where I could see what was happening and I was a little bit away from it, and I could really take some time to go to my heart space, maybe even imagine a heart hug before I had to say something to that lady that was getting really upset. But with your children, it can be hard to do this. So proceed with compassion. That's how we should live our lives every day with animals. I mean, for instance, what did I find in the road? Well, I frequently find, and so might you at this time of year, turtles trying to cross the road, right? So you're in your car, you're late for work, or you're in a hurry, or whatever is going on, but instead of just driving by and praying that that turtle makes it across the road, more than once I have jumped out. Now I keep something in my car for this, but I didn't used to, and I've had to find a stick or run and get a neighbor's shovel or broom off their porch and push that little turtle over to the side of the road where he's going. I mean, they lay their eggs in the same spot every year, even if it is across a road that's kind of dangerous. My road is dangerous in that it's rarely traveled. Therefore, the people driving on it aren't expecting to see a turtle, and there's not enough traffic that somebody else has stopped to let the turtle cross. So proceed with compassion. Push that little turtle across the road, or if you see people having a hard time on the side of the road, again, you can roll down your window and ask if they need help, or if you can call someone for them, or again, in the grocery store, anywhere like that. And on Facebook, you can do the same thing. If you're, like, I'm in all these giant groups, 10, 20,000 people in these groups. And if somebody's having a meltdown, if they're my friend or not, I can friend them and go to Messenger and just say, I see you're having, you're upset about this. Can I help you? And just listen. You don't have to solve their problem or convince them of your side. You can just say, I see why that's hard for you. That's all people really want. I mean, that's one of the lessons of cranial work and T-Touch, is to be neutral, to just say, I understand. I see where you're coming from. That's proceed with compassion. So, as you proceed through your life over the next few days, anticipating the Target Corgi prom, these are, for those who don't know, little tiny stuffed corgis that are a perfect size for my life. And I have quite a few of them, and I dressed them up and had them in prom attire because years ago we had an online Corgi prom, and it was really fun. Tristan asked his girlfriend Dory to the prom. I dressed him in his tux, sat him on the porch on a swing with little hearts on it, and he held up a little sign that said, Dory, prom, heart, heart, heart. And she was giggly and ecstatic and wrote back, and a neighbor made Dory a prom dress. Oh, she was beautiful in that dress. And after the Target Corgi prom, I'll post the pictures of the actual Corgi prom because it was hysterical. And I don't think very many people had real dates like our dogs did. We met at the Philly Corgi picnic and took our picture. But a few people did, and I encourage all the people from Target Corgi prom era and Corgi prom era. I mean, even our bandanas that year at some of the Corgi meetups had Corgi prom on them. I still have one somewhere, which is quite nice, actually. Maybe we should wear that this week to feel inspired. Tristan, what do you think? So, anyway, proceed with compassion. Get excited about the Target Corgi prom. Breathe. Stop what you're doing. Observe your breath. Proceed with compassion. That will get you through a lot of tough things in life. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Tristan, how do you feel in your scarf? Are you warm now? I don't know that he's been any too warm either. I mean, we have the heat on. I have the heat on. My house is supposedly 70 degrees, but it is so cold out that near the windows, it does not feel 70. So thanks for joining us. Can't wait for the prom. It will be your first. Well, you might have some little animals in your house that need to go to a prom too. I think we could start a trend here and have people posting all kinds of animals going to the prom, stuffed or alive. Thanks for joining us.